Welcome back, everyone, to episode 3 of the Smelly GOON1Es podcast. So, as you might have seen in the announcement, or for all you VOD frogs, Panini is sadly absent. He's not able to be here, but we have, to my left, we have War and MuffinLumps joining me.
It's actually that's actually technically the podcast, but you're left.
It's your guys, it's my left. I was right, so it's to my right, but yeah, we do have War and MuffinLumps joining us here today. So, how are you two doing?
I mean, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Coming off Villains win, so can't complain there.
Nice. So
things have been happening.
Yeah.
In the toilets, yeah.
Certainly, the season has been progressing. You can say that.
Yeah, it has been progressing. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely for the chinchillas too, as you can see here from the right here. Uni is no longer purple. He's a nice turquoise. So, and I was able to get effect out of it. So, yeah, stuff is happening too for the chinchillas, but yeah.
That guy with the cool glasses is pretty cool. I wonder who it is, War. I think we both have the same exact glasses.
We do? Maybe.
We're pretty damn close.
Yeah. It's really close. I'm looking over to the side here, and it's like same shape, like same a lot of stuff.
Yo,
right?
It's actually me, as you can see.
I've got glasses too. Hold on.
Yo,
I can go get mine.
I think the biggest thing is that the fact I had 3 support players, I wore my Lucio hat just so I'd fit in.
Oh, thank you.
That's fair.
As a Lucio player, that is really nice.
I'm also I also ripped the T-Wolves because Rip T-Wolves Brazil, the best Twitter account, is gone, so we wore this in memory of him. Also, RiddleDog, he's got glasses on.
No.
Wait, they're removing the NBA Brazil accounts? Those are so funny.
I don't know what happened, but T-Wolves Brazil is gone, so...
Rest in peace, T-Wolves Brazil.
We stay ripping T-Wolves Brazil, at least for this week. Anyway, as the host, I'll move us on to our actual first topic, which...
I guess.
For us, is going to be the most surprising teams/players to this point. Now, of course, you can shout out any team you want or any player you want. We'll go ahead and start with our guests. We'll go to War first to get your opinions on your most surprising team and/or players thus far this season.
All right. I was not really prepared for this, but I'm just gonna go off the fly. We played them 2 days ago. Yesterday, I forget which days. Days are blurring together, but I was not so high on the Berlin Brawlers going into this season. I'm not going to lie. I was like, okay, they're in our division. I think we will easily beat them. But I did so much planning going into that match, and they still brought us to map 5, and it was a tough, well-fought map 5. And they've been performing throughout. They're, I believe, currently right now 3-2 overall, and 1-2 in the division. Yep. But they're a really good team. They are impressive, not just at Brawl, too. I've seen them pull off some amazing dive compositions as well, which is really, really difficult to plan around when they have 2 super good comps like that. So in terms of the team, I'm going to go to them. For the player, on the other hand, this is going to be a bit tough for me, and I'm going to just go to like a completely biased pick of somebody on my team. I gotta say, A Shifty Fishy has just been popping off on tank. I initially planned on running him 1 tank match every game, so like every match, so we'd play either 3 or every game, so we'd play 3 to 5 games, and I'd run him once on tank. But he's just been doing so well, and Yoda fills the DPS slot, Cupcake fills the support slot, and it just works to perfection, and it's crazy.
I think the Berlin Brawler shout's really good. I think a lot of people, it might not have been exactly like the roster, but you knew kind of their shtick going in was just run Reinhardt, just run Brawl. And, Reinhardt hasn't been the best recently, in this game especially. So the fact that they're able to pull it off like that is impressive. Like you said, their dive is honestly, in my opinion, better than their Brawl. Like, it seems really good. Like, they seem to have the dives well coordinated and everything like that. And, I mean, yeah, my surprising player would have been Shifty if you didn't take it from me, but... because it just watch him pull out that the Mauga just out of nowhere 2 games ago, not last game, but 2 games ago when he got challenged in the mirror by Fish on King's Row and just went for it, then decided to pound the rest of the match on Mauga was impressive. So I think he's definitely been a shock for a lot of people. I believe he won the warmest bench award in season 5 of Go for Watch League, something like that. Kind of shows that he's always been around and is getting some recognition finally this season. So we'll go ahead and over to Muffin. Most surprising team and/or player thus far.
Oh, most surprising team or player. Okay. What? I need to get like the teams right now. I am not ready, prepared at all. Gonna be honest. As much
Most
prayer,
surprising
but
team, literally any team, because Muffin doesn't know they're there.
yo. Gonna be honest.
All right, Muffin. How about you
Muffin,
take a minute to figure out what you want,
thank
and
you,
we'll go to
thank you,
RiddleDog. RiddleDog, your most surprising team and/or player so far this year.
I think for the team, I'd have to go probably with the Gatos. I wasn't super high on the Gatos going in, but they're able to pull it off. Chloe able to play a lot of that hog and just get so much success out of it. And I mean, people like Whalefish Yak, everyone on the team seems like they're doing really well. Paige able to finally get their first win as a captain, a manager of a team. So I'm really happy for her. But I'm really surprised by them. I want to say, let's see, they are currently 3-1, and they won against the Villains week 1, then the Dongers week 2. They lost to the Numbies week 3, but they beat the Foxes week 4. So
I mean, like Nathan said in the chat, I think a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, look at this team post draft! Like they had like 8 GMs. Well, they couldn't run a single roster, so they had to make a trade, and they pulled off a pretty great trade for them in the long run that allowed them to run most of their players at their best roles. So of course, you looked at the names on that list right after the draft and was like, "Holy crap, this team's going undefeated." Well, they couldn't run anything. As the guy can see all the chats, they couldn't run anything. So the fact that they got that trade off and have gotten 3 wins so far this season, or is it 2? 3 wins.
3.
It's great for Paige, of course. It's an infinitesimally better season than she's had ever as a captain by getting 1. Anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off, so let's go.
Yeah, I mean, like Nathan is saying in the chat here, saying that the trade for Teddy went crazy in the beginning. It was Teddy for Flawless as well. And Teddy is just such a value pick over on the support, which is why he's mainly been playing at 2950 as well. So I know, especially from like Washington Overwatch team all the way back season 2, that he's really, really good for that. So that trade definitely helped them because they were one of the teams which didn't have a lot of lineups, like some other teams like the Inazuma. We all know how they're usually over SR, but they're able to fix the problem. So, and they have been doing well right now. Let's see, their next game is going to be against the Ritu Raccoons. So it's going to be a hard-fought game, most likely, with how good the Raccoons are doing. So.
And any surprising players for you before Muffin chimes in?
yo.
I think, if I'm going to be honest, if we're going the route of shouting out our own team, like Warden, I'd have to say Skyser. I mean, you look at it, I think it also helps because I literally just came off of a Chinchilla Scrim right now, but Skyser has been doing like super, super good as well. I only had to pay 55k for him. I remember that. He's 3350 support, 3600 tank, and he comes so much on the tank, and he just makes sure that we follow him, we play with him all the time, and I was just super, super impressed. So right now, I mean, with Cathect, we're mainly going to be running Skyser tank with Cathect subbing in on support. And yeah, I think Skyser, but I suppose if I had to shout out someone else.
We'll save some for the rest of us, man. Maybe we'll come back to you, but you can't just have 2 surprising players.
Yeah, you go, Muffin.
Yeah, we don't want to steal Muffin. Maybe his research has led him to have one player in mind.
Yeah.
Even though like the differential wasn't like that good, villains forcing them against us, they did really well. Like I was surprised. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be like pretty like good. This is gonna be like a nice game. Absolutely, it did. It was just ooh. I was not expecting that level of just like thing. It went yeah, just they even though like they're low on those standing, they still did like ridiculous, you know? Like they have been very solid, at least for what I can see. So yeah, that's who I'm picking. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta give Riddle some love for subbing in for us on that match too.
Yo, Riddle, no,
Absolute
ain't
legend
no
over
way,
there.
man. Shot like 20 people in the head with actually roll.
Yeah.
For like a player who's like actually bit like a like kind of like person who's like been doing really well. It's like, mm, it's like, I mean, like, yo, I'm going to, yeah, I think, yeah. Thing that I've been really happy this season. Gonna shout out Sen. I mean, him actually getting to play DPS this season was something I was really happy for. It might not be like he's been also doing a good job on that, so that's one of the things that I was like happy this season. Gonna be honest, like he's been doing a good job, and yeah, he's
Nice.
Swag.
yeah, yeah. Is it surprising? Uh, oh no, I just like
We're just happy that Centurion gets to play his main role again.
yeah.
Yep.
I'm so happy.
And yeah, I mean, I guess for me, my pick would have also been the villains, but they got took from me. So, my second backup probably would have been the. I'm gonna say it's not surprising in terms of like they're actually doing well. So how well they're doing, it's for me. It's gonna be the Raccoons. I wasn't one of the people who had them like number one in the power rankings in the preseason. I thought they would be a solid like top 4 team, but the fact that they're still undefeated, have only dropped a few maps here and there, they've definitely impressed me and surprised me with how well they played. Especially when you had like I thought initially the Ox would be the tank player for that team most of the time, and he's an MVP in Overwatch 2 on the tank role, but been sticking mostly on that DPS role, and then they've had Dynamic mostly play most of the tank role. He's done very well in that regard. So, and for me, the most surprising, I'm gonna give a shout out to Dyer on the Numbies. Kind of an unknown entity coming in here, but Dyer has shown some great flexibility on the tank role. Definitely helped the Numbies out, especially since they are limited with Kevin on the DPS. He can't play everything that you need to make every comp work, but Dyer has shown that he can definitely adjust around the DPS kind of limitation that team has on them. And the Numbies, of course, the only undefeated team in the league, and that's really no short thanks to Dyer for that situation. So
Yeah.
for him, he's definitely a big surprise for me. Plus, shout out to Kevin on the DPS actually doing well on his limited picks. But
Man's hitting his shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, with that topic out of the way, we'll move on to our next one, which is going to be our kind of mid-season favorites to either win just right now, win their divisions at the look of it, make the playoffs, and then potentially even win it all. We're ready to lay it down all on the table. We should definitely keep track of these somewhere, so that we know who was so wrong or so off on their initial predictions. But we'll go ahead and
Let's see. I can write it down.
write this down. We'll start with. We'll just go reverse order what we did in the last topic. So I'll start. In order to win their divisions, might not really be able to do for the other division, like the one division with the Numbies, the Raccoons, the Brawlers. That division's going to be in the air basically until the last week. I think that's going to be a really tough division to come out of. But if I had to take a guess, I'd put, I just said their most surprising team, I would put my money on the Numbies right now. That's just because the Raccoons, kind of like the most impressive win so far, has been against the Zeniths, who are down 3 of their main players. So that's kind of, like, it's not saying how good are you, it's just like, I don't know what their peak is. So I'm going to go with the Numbies, kind of the more known product. And then as for the other one, it's, again, really tough, but I think the favorites coming out of that right now are probably like the renewed imposters. Ever since Fruals has returned, that team has looked way better. The coaching from Typhoon has come in clutch. They've been looking really good. And it's probably the Zeniths. They got that 2-0 in division right now, so they're off to a good start. They're only a team with a positive map diff in their division, so that is probably going to play a huge factor at the end of it. They do have that loss for our division for the tiebreaker, which could come in to hurt them, but everybody else in their division also is 0-2, basically, except for the Imposters, who's the other team I think could come out of there. So yeah, I'll put my money on the Zenus and the Numbies, with the Imposters and Raccoons being my second picks. And I guess in terms of winning it all, I have no clue. But it's really meta dependent, I think, honestly. But
Yeah.
screw it. I'll say the Raccoons. Just the veteran presence on that team with Rory, with Ox. I think they're a team that could definitely kind of have the mental to go forward far in the playoffs and do well. So I'll throw it down on the Raccoons. They're my most surprising team, and we'll see if they can win it all. I think the Riddle Raccoons Numbies game, that's gonna be a banger. Either way.
Yeah.
All right, I've given my thoughts on that. Now we're gonna go over to MuffinLumps and see how Muffin is gonna.
Yeah. Okay. So hear me out. Okay, so who's gonna win the standing? Okay. So first let's go with the standing where everyone's actually winning, rather than the other standing. Okay, so who I'm thinking? Okay. Let's go. I think Gatos is gonna like manage to make it out. That would be like cool. I think like they've been playing well. It would be cool to have like Paige go into like the finals. That would be really cool. So yeah, is this biased? Hell yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Hey, she went there last year. She went there last
you
season
know-
as a player, but as a captain,
Yo.
yet to reach that.
Your captain would be so cool. I would love that. Other team that I would want to, I can't go Rito. I could go Rito Raccoons. But let's change it up. I said they were the most surprising team. Vancouver Villains. Yo, we're on top. Let's go.
Ooh, no complaints there.
What about who wins the other division?
Yo,
Like who's first or whatever?
I
Who
just
wins
want
it?
like a ton of like upsets. That would be great. For this other team, oh, we're going for the Imposters. Okay, they renewed. They did great. I mean, like, they had some good ringers. Not to be biased whatsoever. They may play.
Shout out to the Imposters for having great ringers. They'll carry them far in the
But also like
playoffs.
Frutal's showing up and being able to bring out that energy that he does is fantastic. So that's been thing, and like Goku on tank has also been a very like good change for them.
Kind of a new
So
thing they
yeah,
found out that worked out really well for him.
yeah. The like Goku
Mhm.
can play tank, and then it was like cool. It was great. Other team. Let's. I didn't see the match yet. I need to watch the VOD, but let's say Dinky Town Dongas, they're going to like manage to like get on. Yeah, after the loss against the Xenex, they're gonna bring it all back. It's gonna be good. I believe in the Dongas, the only other 2-win team in our division.
The only other human.
Our division's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think the dog. Yeah. I think those are my two. I mean, like I think they've started putting. From what I saw, there was a few games where it had. I can't believe.
I saw Vin to go crazy on DPS.
Yeah,
If that's what
yeah,
you're
Vin.
referring to.
They're like putting Vin on everything, which is cool. Like they're doing like a lot of cool stuff, like which is really nice. So yeah, those are my two picks. Yeah. Those are like the runner ups also in any order. You can just decide. Oh man.
All right, Riddle. Write that down.
I said so. The teams that win the divisions for each one, you said the Gatos and the Imposters first. So I'm
Yeah.
saying those.
Got
And then you
it.
say Vancouver Villains win it all.
Yeah.
Right?
Most
Yeah,
confident
yeah.
prediction ever.
Vancouver sweep. Vancouver sweep.
No complaints again. Like,
Oh man.
All right,
Yeah.
Riddle, you're up.
Let's see. For the first division, I'd say probably the who comes in first. I'd say the Ritu Raccoons. I'd bet my money on them. Like what you were just saying, Booney, about why they'd win it all. They have the veteran presence with Oaks, with Rory as well, and then you have some new rookies which are doing really well, like Danny Mac and Simply Dino, as well as some really good players like Tanic Bean, Wiggle Wiggle, who's known that he's really good for his SR too. So
You can't keep getting away with this.
yeah, I mean, I think if like they have any problems, like they're probably going to be VOD reviewing if their team wants. I know Oaks is all about improvement. That I've talked to him many times about that. How he just wants to make sure that his team wants to be able to do well and that they improve, and because that's what he thinks this league is mainly all about. And so I could see them VOD reviewing and just keep improving over and over. So, for the other division, though, I mean, he'd be hard pressed to find anyone that isn't confident in the Zenith. You know, they're, like you said, they're the only team in that division right now with a positive map differential, and just with all the players that they have, I feel like it's gonna be really hard to stop them. Like if they're on a roll, then they're just gonna keep going. But if they encounter some trouble, then they might stumble here and there, like we saw last week. I mean, we know that they were down. I was pretty sure it was Nathan, Frosty, Cath.
You're
so
correct,
they're down
yeah.
all those three. So, and they lost to, I believe, the Ritu Raccoons. Yep, 3-1. But I'd have to say probably them. But gosh, the Dinkytown Dongers. I know a lot of people weren't high on them going into this season. I was not one of them really, but they've been showing that they're improving a lot more than I expected to. So I think they're a force to be reckoned with right now. I'm interested to see the game against the Imposters, Week 7, because I hold them like that same sort of type of team where they start slow and then they ramped up. I mean, for different reasons. Like the Imposters were down Fruitles. You know, he broke his wrist for a while, then he was gone for a while, but I'd have to shut them out too. Chinchillas are not out of playoff picture yet, right now, because the O2 out of division, that does not matter right now. Okay, it's in division,
I mean, the rest
so
of
we
the
still
division
have a
is
chance.
1 or 2 wins. So yeah, I mean, just 1 win, you're right
That's
back
true.
in it. So
Oh,
Exactly. So it's not over yet. It's not over.
yeah,
We
it
just-
isn't.
We just got to win our game against the Foxes. Make sure, or else I think it's Jover. It's Jover if it's not that. So, let's see. Who wins it all? I feel like Numbies are gonna come out of nowhere. I mean, people.
they ain't coming
No,
out of
like-
nowhere, man. They're
They're
undefeated and they're they haven't.
I'm not done. I'm not done. So I mean, I'm saying that they come in as probably number 2 seed, most likely, if the Raccoons come in, take that first seed, like I'm possibly expecting. But then I feel like some people might not just expect them to do as well, because I'm expecting them to lose the head-to-head. But I feel like people like Kevin and Dyer and Sidon and all them they're going to just keep wanting to. They're not gonna. Sidon and Kevin do not want to lose again in the finals. You know, so that's gonna be like their wake-up call to try and get it done. And then there's people that are improving on that team, especially like Raspberry, who's been doing really well, showing his flexibility when I believe people mainly just assume as a Life Weaver player, Life Weaver Moira, from what I heard from Yeetmeister. But I think them, after like a wake-up call from the Raccoons, they're gonna come back with a vengeance and then win it all. That's what I'm guessing.
All right, write that down. War, it's on to you, buddy. You're the last one. You've heard all the arguments. Now you can put together the ultimate masterpiece.
And now I can just like copy everybody's argument. No, I'm not doing that. Well, gotta preface this first, well, saying like, of course, villains are winning it all, but I'm just gonna do these predictions, assuming villains aren't winning it all, and not be biased. So if you're looking at the first division, the division that has been losing more, you got to take the Zenith out of that division. You know, they're the only team that has proved themselves against their division, against the other division as well. And then for my second pick, who I think is going to get the 2 seed there, I think the Foxes are going to be able to eke it out. Now, obviously, they did lose to the Dongers, which is a ding against their schedule so far. But I think looking at their next 3 games, they only really experience a challenge in the final week against the Zenith.
Hey.
Compared, sorry, I'm
Jacked
sorry.
up, man. That's
I'm sorry.
jacked up.
I'm sorry.
I'm facing them on 2 days.
No comment. Anyways, so I think that they definitely have a very very winnable path out of their to the 2 seed. However, I'm not sure how that same success will replicate in the playoffs. I also think it's very interesting the sort of composition they run, and I noticed a couple of teams having success with that because most of their SR is actually going to be put into their support line, which in my opinion gives either Fedora Master or Strudel a chance to like step up and kind of shot call from a support perspective, which is more commonly seen in, I guess, higher level teams. So I think it's an interesting flip to see those teams have some sort of success, even despite, I feel like despite this league having such a pretense that, oh, you need to have a DPS carry, you need to have a support carry, or a tank, DPS or tank carry. It feels like the Foxes are doing it differently and it's working out. And I can say the same for a couple other teams in the league. But moving on to the other division, I mean, you got to say the New Zealand Numbies and the Reacher Raccoons as the top 2 there. In terms of who's going to be better in the regular season, I don't know. But I think that come playoff time, I feel like the New Zealand Numbies are going to figure something out that's going to work against the Raccoons, and they're going to be the one to take the championship.
So, who wins the division, though?
Give it to Numbies.
All right.
Yeah.
I believe in Jack, Sidon, Kevin, Raspberry, Scent, and is that all of them? I think I just got all of them.
Did you say Kevin?
Oh, Kevin. I think I said Kevin. Maybe. If Kevin, if I missed you, I love you, man. Sorry.
Jack, Sidon. All right, let's see. Jack, Sidon, Scent, Dyer, Raspberry, and Kevin.
Oh, I didn't say Dyer. That's
Dyer Erasure? Again? Dyer Erasure?
Man. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but Dyer has been like absolutely incredible. I know that during the draft, me and Jack were the last 2 people to select a tank, and I was like, okay, I need to get Yoda. And Jack's like, no, I need to get Yoda. So then we had our 1K bidding war against Yoda, and I ended up winning that. And Jack's like, okay, I'm just gonna see if this works. And he decided to go Dyer, and I think that was an insane pick to complement with Kevin and Sidon.
And I think the thing is, though, I'm the only person who knows, who Dyer is, because as we learned in the lore of the last couch stream, he plays in my house and uses all my gaming equipment that is unorthodox to play the game. So perhaps that's the reason why I know that Dyer exists, I guess, that he actually plays in my house, according to the lore.
I remember that. Does he just go there to play, or does he like just hang out, live there?
Mostly kind of just to play. It's kind of like his stadium almost. The NFL players don't sleep at the stadium unless they're Baker Mayfield and those progressive commercials. But that's not what Dyer does. Dyer does not stay here. More or less a work-only relationship between me and him.
Gotcha.
Booney trying to sleep, Dyer showing up for the midnight game.
Yeah.
Right. We all have that written down then. So
I got it written.
Riddle, just say our champions. So we all have winning I think we have 4 different champions actually between the 4 of us. No, we have one repeater.
Me and Riddle.
Yep. So Booney says Raccoons. Muffin says Vancouver. Me and War says the Numbies.
And we'll make sure to have Panini write that down before the next wave of games, so he doesn't get a cheat code in advance. But we'll make sure to get him on record too. Anyway, on to our next topic. It can be a quick one. Just the only in-season treat I've had so far. It's going to be Booney going to the Zeniths for Cathect, back to the Chinchillas. Doesn't make literally any difference. I won't speak at all, but I'll say it doesn't make any difference for either team here.
Yeah.
I think it does. I'll let you two talk first.
I don't know. I saw that trade and I yeah, I like it for both teams in a sense. My initial thought. I was like, okay, I feel like this is just giving each team more of an option to do what they want. I know that Riddle, you're obviously a captain in this situation, but I feel like you get very good use from Cathect on support. And I feel
Yeah.
like Booney is such a dominant tank player where you just I don't know if that's exactly what you're going to go on the Zenith, but you're such a dominant tank player where you can come in on a heavy brawl map or a heavy dive map, lock either like a Reinhardt, a Winston, or a Ball, and even though they aren't good, you can just like carry with that, you know? So I feel like it benefits both teams in that regard.
Yeah.
Yo, okay. This trade, everyone's happy, I think. At least it's like a nice trade. Anyway, I don't know what Booney's gonna do on the Zenith. He might show up, just absolutely have a good like, sort of. He'll have a team that can like. He's got like a pretty good support line. I don't know what. I think it's Ritherin and who's the other
But they're in
support?
his villain.
Oh,
I think
Villain.
Frosty.
Frosty. Oh yeah, Frosty's fantastic. Absolutely. Shouldn't be that asshole. He's so goated.
But I will say
if you have
if I'm in
Nathan-
playing tank, it'll be Nathan probably on support as well. Like Nathan and
Yeah,
Ballsack Joe
it's-
as the support duo.
Wait,
Oh,
can they get
that's fantastic. And even if you not tank, I still think you can do like such a good job on that team, Booney. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh
Isn't
no.
Corey on support for that team?
No,
too,
he's
or
on
am I stupid?
DPS. He can play support, I believe, but
Okay,
they
okay.
mostly
Yeah.
do Akua and Corey as a DPS line and kind of stick with that the whole series. And they
And
used to
then-
swap in Cathect and Nathan for support and tank respectively, to my knowledge.
Because I do think Nathan and Frosty, or like Nathan and Ballsack Joe, is a fantastic support line. Like that's gonna keep you covered, Booney, and like yeah, I think it's gonna be a good time. And like I think you have synergies with some of the players already. So like yeah, that's my thought. Oh no,
All right.
yeah.
I know what I'm thinking.
Yo,
So, Cathect, we're able to get Cathect. So, you may notice that sometimes when we were, some of the different comps we would run was that we would run Booney with tank and then Skyster support. And then when we wanted to have like a JQ comp or any other type of comp like that, even I believe Dive, we played against the Inazuma on Dorado, but we'd have Charlie on support, then Skyster move over to tank with how much he's able to calm and all that. So with Cathect in mainly, that just gives us a more consistent lineup. Because right now what we're able to run is Cathect for Charbotron support, just 1-for-1. So that just leaves Skyster in on tank full time, Zeus and Mikey DPS full time, I'm in full time, and then it's just rotating Charbotron and Cathect. So that should be able to hopefully help us with all that.
And yeah, I mean, we were discussing like potential trade situations for the squad. It was like, can we get like a consistent, lineup for the communication structure and everything? Because when me and Skyster switch out, there definitely be a switch kind of in the communications a lot between who was the main caller, who was kind of listening. So I think, like you said, the Chinchillas now with Cathecton. I know Cathect is just kind of a chill dude. He's the Florida man, not for much longer, but he was the Florida man, so he kind of comes in, swags out, and that kind of allows Skyster to kind of just take over, I think, in that regard, and be that consistent presence for the team, which they did not have when we had to switch people out. So I think
Yes.
I think like War and Muffin have been saying, it's kind of like a win-win for both teams here.
Yeah.
And it is possible to do that. Yeah, it's possible for both teams to gain from a trade, and I think this is a good example of that. Obviously, we haven't seen it yet, but I think both teams will rise from this.
Yeah. We're able to do that. We got another thing possibly cooking, so
Ooh.
Cap
have
on
to
the
look for
Sombra,
that.
baby. Let's go.
You'll have to see if we have something else cooking.
What about the rash?
But-
We're gonna see the rash again.
Maybe.
I think
Might have to.
I think we're about to see the rash. I think that's what
What's
we're
So,
the rash for people who don't know?
But for the
RiddleDog
Zenus, what you
Ash.
cannot do. So, it took me a while to convince Randy for the trade because he's so indecisive. He didn't want to decide either way for days. But one of the things is that you cannot run Booney, Tank, Akua, Core, DPS, Nathan, Hayden support.
Gotcha.
That's 10 SR over. From what I could tell, and me talking to Randy, the best comp that you can run with Booney on tank is Booney, Akua, Nathan, DPS, Frosty, Corey support, which is not bad by any means, I'd say. And you just run like a sort of double flex with Corey, Frosty, with both of them playing mainly flex support, and you'll be able to do really well. Nathan at 3650 on DPS is a steal. You know, he hasn't been playing that a lot, but he's still super, super consistent. A ringer to be reckoned with if he ever comes in, but...
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Ringer.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
my.
so-
That's
I think it's good for both of us as well. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We'll have to see if it pays off in our next game in 2 days.
It's like Matthew Stafford for get Jared Goff. You guys just meet in the playoffs. See what happens, you know?
Yeah.
Anybody catch? I hope.
We still have to face each other too.
Yeah, oh,
That's second to
true,
last
yeah.
week. That's second to last week. So
The battle will be legendary. I promise you that.
definitely.
Alrighty. So, our next thing here, going off of how good we think teams are going to be, is we're going to do some power rankings.
Ooh, our own
Power
without
rankings.
Nuttier, without the corrupt Nuttier.
Okay.
So I need to, let's see, get this set up in the meanwhile. Yeah, we'll just look at the ground mug for a minute while I get this all set up here.
Oh, do you want? We can talk about some other things.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying this season?
You know,
Good.
it could be better
Yeah.
right now, but I'm not disappointed. I'm not sad about what happened
Well,
because
it's
I
an
love everyone on my team. At least, I mean, we are currently winless, but I really like everyone that is and was on my team. So
we're all three captains, other than Booney, like on the right side of the screen for everybody watching. We're all three captains, and we're all three captains of 3 of the 4 statistical bottom teams that aren't making the playoffs, which is, I mean, something.
it is what it is.
It is.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure it out. But it is going pretty something, and that's
Mhm.
something. Anyway, how are you enjoying this season, War?
I mean, it's both of our first times being captain. Correct me if I'm wrong, Muffin, right?
Nope.
No.
He's been
Muffin's
captain for Wendell's and Tortuga.
No,
Oh,
that was Chummy.
Right.
So only 2 times. Yeah.
Wait, were you captain of Tortuga or Wendell's?
Both.
Both.
Oh,
So
okay,
I have
cool.
been captaining.
This is the third time.
No, well,
It was
it's
my
my
third
first
time.
time. It's my first time being captain. Anyway,
So the power rankings are ready. So whenever you guys need to stop stalling.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I enjoy being a captain. I think that, and I was talking to Cupcake about this recently. I think that just being the on paper like lowest SR person in the league and me trying to lead a team of very, very high SR people is a very interesting experience because the things I contribute to the team are much different than what other captains would contribute to the team. Whereas if you take like Riddle as a captain, he's always in, he's always on support, he's always going to be there to like shout call, compared to me where I'm just struggling to sort of find out what is the best thing for me to do as a captain. I can do the organization stuff, I think, all right, but I think it's definitely a new perspective for me because I think about the game in a different way, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to low SL captains.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy your
Lowest
stay.
R captains is crazy. I'd love to hear your opinion on it, Muffin.
Oh, it's wild. Sometimes you have to like, cause like if you're like a high SL captain, you don't have to like worry about sacrificing yourself or like any. Well, like you're always gonna be in. Like you can like kind of like dictate what team you can build around yourself. For a low SL captain, you basically have to build a team with other people, if that makes sense, Riddle. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like say if you're like a
You get
high
someone
SL
else's
captain.
opinion.
Yeah. You have to like kind of build the team with a sort of own I kind of make your own sort of prediction on how it will work, which is very fascinating. Um, and also you get to be basically the organizer, which is really fun. So you have to do like all this. So it's a bit more dynamic of asking your other players what they want to do. Because like, oh no, that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
It is extremely dynamic because I mean, if you're a high SR captain, you're gonna fill this role. And you
Yeah.
know what roles you're willing to flex on, but a low SR captain, you're like, okay, I'm just building a team of 5 people. Let's go for it. What the heck?
You're like I know who's gonna be the one leaving GOON1Es games. Anyway, let's do some power rankings, I guess. Ooh.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and start at the tops and the bottoms. So I think Prior 2 Raccoons in the S tier right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Numby's
I'd
probably
say
in the
put
S tier.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. I agree.
I think then you could put brawlers in A tier because like we need to like
No, because I mean,
I-
villains just won against them, so.
yeah.
I mean,
So
I think the first one you have to put there is Zenith.
Xenex. Yeah.
You
I
know, I
agree.
mean, their loss against the 3-1 loss against the Raccoons was, like I said, down 3 people. So it's gonna be rough anyways. And I mean, I'd put them at I'd put them at low S.
If I'm talking about just my experience in facing both teams, the villains went 2-3 against the Reacher Raccoons and the Zenith 3-0'd us. So I mean, just on paper there, I don't know how like quantitative we want to be about it, but I think that both teams are very, very talented and they should only be separated by a single tier break.
For like Zenith, they wore down Frosty and
Nathan and Kafek.
Nathan and Kafek with us. We also got Seven, who was goated. Gonna be honest, that Doomfist was crazy. Shout out to that, that was shout out to that. He also for the SO, he was actually like going crazy. It was madness. Cannot. At the start, I was like, "Nah, this is we could get like a higher." Then he absolutely like blew me out of expectations. Anyway, so I so maybe like Ringos. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, I like the Ringos
That's
too.
fine.
Goonie. Yeah, that's good too.
All right, now the mid is kind of difficult. So let's start from the bottom and work our way up now.
Okay.
Um,
Put us there. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
C for
Put us both there.
chinchillas. C for chinchillas.
It's also C for like toys.
C for cathect.
I think-
C for cathect as well as chinchillas.
I think if the 3 lowest would be Inazuma probably, but better
Yeah.
than the Chinchi, and probably the Toads. Yeah.
I agree with the Inazuma. The Inazuma and Chinchillas, even though the Inazuma did win, it was a 3-2
It
series.
was a
Very
C
close
tier,
there,
though,
anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm speedrunning, baby.
Yeah.
I
I
have
think
Lungers over
80
Foxes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Villains over Brawlers, and then I'd put Gatos over Brawlers.
Yeah. Oh, yo. He's
And
actually cooking so
Gatos
fast.
did beat us too, if that is an argument we want to make. It's just a question of, I don't know. They beat us 3-2.
What was that, week
I
one?
don't know if they're.
It was
that
week
one.
one.
I don't know if that anything shifted to that point in time. I just want to bring up that argument in case. You
I
want
think
to.
what we've seen the last couple weeks out of Shitty Fish, the villains are a new team. Week 1, he played a map, I think. His 2 maps minimum. Now I think he's kind of a mainstay. And the Shitty Fish comp looks really, really good. So I'd like to see a rematch. I think these two, if I could put them like over each other, I would. Like
Yeah.
perfectly even as all things should be. Any other changes / discussions here?
I think imposters over dongers.
Yo,
Personally, I mean, Fruitles has been such a game changer. I was hearing it from different people on that team how it's been going as well, and being able to watch it without Fruitles there, and Fruitles' opinion of what's happening too, because he's just sort of sitting there with his broken wrist while he's gone, as well, just watching the games, and
Also-
it
also-
just when he joined, it was like a completely different team as soon as we faced them, because it just seemed like Fruitles did so much, like whether it be on the Hanzo or the Genji or whatever he was playing in. I think, especially that's like the thing that pushes it over the Dongers for me. I mean, I didn't see the Dongers v turrets
When
because I was
when I look at the dongers though, compared to the imposters, and I see like the top player on each role, it's while it's more a team game, I think like the peak of the dongers could be higher because like Eatmeister and Goku, I'd take Cabra over him, especially now in this new kind of look where Malga got nerfed again. Joker Queen's back on the menu. I'd take Cabra Joker Queen over both of them right now. Vind on DPS compared to Invictus, it's really, really close. But I think I still probably give that to Vind right now. With how he played last game against the turrets, I saw him kind of go absolutely ballistic. And I know that
yeah. I
they're
mean,
kind of experimenting
I
on the
need to watch
imposters.
that.
So I just think the Dongers, like, if both these teams played on their best day, I would take the Dongers.
I just didn't see the game against the turrets because I went into from a scrim into a game, casting a game with you. So I don't know how they have been playing recently.
Also, I I was at work during that game, so I
Yeah,
couldn't do
Muffin was
anything.
absent too. They had the law there. The
That
turrets.
always like hurts when you're at work and you're just like you're like the captain and you're like I can't do anything about whatever happens.
I
Mhm.
think the Dongers are a very good sleeper pick because if you look at the matches they've played so far, week 1 it was against the Zeniths, week 2 it was against the Gatos, week 3 was Foxes, which they won, but it was close. Week 4 was Numbies. They've gone against like
The top teams
really,
in the
really
league.
good teams, and now you look at their schedule and it's like, okay, we're gonna get some winnable games here. Imposters, I could say the exact same thing for, but imposters, I feel like have also maybe not played their hardest game
I
yet.
think imposters is almost like the opposite argument. Like they've beat like the Inazuma, the Chinchillas, and that's where this new Goku looks came in and has looked really good. But at the same time, we're looking at the C tier teams which they've defeated, whereas the Dongers have kind of gone toe to toe with the topper echelon of our power rankings right now. So for me, that's at least that's the an argument you could make. Unless Muffin wants to tie us
Okay.
up here on the
Okay.
Inazuma versus Dongers,
So
but or the
okay.
imposters.
So I did a Whittle 1v1 with Foodles. He's doing that hand therapy. Oh man, once his hand gets better, oh man. Imposters going to do so well. And also he can like captain his team inside the team because from what I can tell when Foodles does imposter he like is in a team he does make like decisions. He does listen but he's also like does make a better the decisions if that makes sense. Like he even though he's like a I think I think he's like mid SO for like the this league. I don't know. It's like Masters 5. He still does make like decisions, so I think also just being able to like bounce off like everyone, I think it the imposters are put out, but the dongos I haven't seen a lot of the games, so like I don't have a lot to say about them. Sorry. Yeah.
So which one would you take?
Oh, ooh, I did say ooh, this is very difficult for me. Because a lot of the players very good. Goku was doing fantastic, would he be as good as Cable? I think it would be. I would call it even about there. And Victus over Vin. I also haven't. I seen Vin's like Torb, that was insane. Man can hit shots. But Invictus can also hit shots. So that's thing. I think. And then the support. What's the two support lines right now? Uh,
It's Raz, Jaggy, and Fruitals.
okay.
Raz, Jaggy, Fruitals, and then
Who plays support on the Dongers? I'll forget. Is it
Vin sometimes.
Milo and
Milo.
Vind and Kaber? I don't know.
Who's supporting the team?
I would look at it in Discord, but I
Flambeau.
have Flambeau. That's
I,
it.
I can
Oh,
list the
man.
entire team. It's just I just don't know which one of them is supporting.
It's Flambeau.
Yeah.
Flambeau. Flambeau's also like he's very consistent. He's nice.
he's nice.
Yeah, I like him.
He's
He's
a-
a nice guy.
He posts
a
the
good
Andy
fella.
Reid Nuggies meme. He's nice.
He's good.
He's
a-
funny.
yeah,
What was the pinnacle? He's funny when he's trying
he's
not to be.
He's goofy. He's a goofy little guy.
Yeah.
He's great. I love that
if
guy.
if we are undecided, if we're tied up, I can also start a poll test.
Yo, poll time.
You should have
Yo.
did a poll.
And
I
let's
don't
see.
know.
Let's see.
Oh, also Red Cactus is on that team. Ooh, so it's like. Also Dong Wrangler. We just forgot about those two.
Yeah, like one of the best Mays in the league is on the Dongers team.
Yeah. The Dong Wrangler's May is actually insane. Such a good May, very good May player.
Here's a poll.
It's a toss up. Do the poll, dude. You poll time. Let's go.
You can now vote Twitch chat. Just higher up. So Twitch chat has also been saying that they think they don't agree with our S tier teams, that order.
Oh, the specific order of the S tier teams. I didn't really think too much about that.
I think they're
level.
pretty even. I mean, it's
Yeah.
So we'd like have them like you can flip flop them
Yeah.
Yeah.
right now.
it'd be like I said earlier. If you could put them on top of each other, we could. Like these teams are both undefeated. Both have a +9 map differential. Both have played some great teams. I think like it's almost tough to differentiate the teams from each other. I think the biggest probably advantage the Numbies have is probably the DPS. Just because I take like the top 1 versus 2. You know, take Sidon over Ox. No offense to Ox, but Sidon is pretty damn good at the video game. And then
Yo,
Kevin over Rory, very close, but I'd probably still take Kevin in that regard. Tanks are pretty even.
Yeah.
It's so I guess if I had to really give it a ranking, I would probably have the Numbies over them because also the flexibility of Centurion coming in on support as well as DPS. But
Yo, it's either Scent or Wiggle, which is who. I ain't debating that. Leave my hands clean of that. Those two guys are like Scent is very positive and thing. Also, we can't even forget about like Jack. Jack's also just like really good at support and DPS. He's fantastic. He's great. For the support line for the raccoons, it's Wiggle.
Simply Dino. I think I'm forgetting someone.
And I think.
Tanic B is also on their team. I don't know if
Oh,
you.
yeah.
So they
Tanic
do
B-
Tempe DPS and Rory goes over to support sometimes.
Oh,
yeah,
yep, there we go.
Tanic B is. Between Tanic B, I would say is also fantastic. This is really.
I think I put Numbies over Raccoons. If I had to put an order down, I'd have the Numbies
Yeah.
first.
Dungers won over the Imposters 4-2.
Let's go chat.
So
Let's go chat.
Let's go chat. Chat's
So-
on me and Booney's side. We love to see
we'll
it.
get them next time, Muffin.
yeah. It's not my bias. Of food or that could never exist.
All right.
For the S, yeah, I think that's
I
good.
think that's pretty accurate. That's pretty good.
Let me just wait.
Well,
Yeah, there we go. Oh,
little down, little down, little down,
oh
little
yeah.
down, little down,
There
little
we
down,
go.
little.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Oh
There.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you were centered.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Oh yeah.
Two can play. Four can play this game. In fact,
4 can play with 8 thumbs.
that's true.
Well, that's it for our topic list. Unless you guys have anything pressing right now, we can go ahead and send ourselves off. Because look, we've looped. Wow.
I'm here, brother.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Completely in darkness.
shrouded in
Completely.
hell.
Shrouded in
in the
darkness.
rays of hell. I have existed. So who I think it is going to be out of all the teams is actually going to be the Gardos. That's my voting.
God dang.
Has been,
To win it all?
yeah, they're going to win it all.
All right, write that down,
I
Riddle.
believe.
Write
Yeah.
that down. Write that down.
Hi, it's me, Chummy Wummy. I came from the darkness. As you can see. How's it going, everyone? I'm going good, brother. I'm just showed up. Muffin's completely fine. Don't worry about that. Ignore the light change. Thank you.
I look that way.
All right,
Dang.
you know what? I thought about it, but Panini wasn't here. But I want to start a new segment on the podcast so we keep track of. It can be like 10 minutes long, but I think it'll be fun. It's based off what we've been saying the whole time with the most friends players. It's write that down.
Yeah.
You need to give a quantifiable prediction, and we keep track of
Okay.
throughout the season. Whoever has the best prediction at the end wins something. Nothing, but they win pride. So Warren and Muffin, you guys will be fighting for the side of just the guests. We'll keep track of guests separate, and
Okay.
me and RiddleDog will also give some predictions. So we'll go ahead and we'll each give, let's say, 2 predictions.
Okay.
And similar to how we did this, for an example prediction could be, I think the Numbies win the next game 3-1. It has to be quantifiable and it has to be trackable. All right. You could even say, I think this player will win MVP. It just anything really off the top of your head that we can track.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead. We'll let our guests think about it first, and then we'll go to RiddleDog first, since he's the guy who has the notepad open for the write that down. So
Yeah.
you got a minute to think about this, but
How like unpopular of opinions are we going here?
you can do whatever you want as long as we can track it and as long as it's quantifiable. You can do
Or I could
whatever
just
you
say,
want.
Like, or I could just like look at like the most one-sided game and say, "Oh, this team wins 3-0."
That
Yeah,
would
that's
I do
lame.
either, you know,
That's boring.
lame though. That's lame.
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
I'm
hold
holding
on.
them.
We will-
Unpopular predictions.
we'll give
guys.
extra bonus points. We'll have kind of like, I don't know, like your batting average and then your home runs, right? So if you give a huge prediction, like it could be 3 parts or it could be an out-of-the-worldly prediction, and that'll be kind of a tiebreaker. Then you could say, I think the Chinchillas are going to win 2 playoff games. That to me is a home run because, they didn't look that good. We'll call those sweeps in our standings. But so if you're more outlandish, you could win more points, but also affect your kind of average. We'll say map diff and your sweeps are how we're tracking the scores. So think about
also does-
keeping things somewhat doable, but also swing for the fence.
Does it have to only be Overwatch, or can I do like the other?
If you want to do something with League of Legends or Pokemon,
Yeah.
go ahead. We will keep track of it. But just Aurora-based predictions.
Oh,
Hmm.
man.
So we'll go ahead. I need to open
first. Why don't you be first? You're the one with the idea.
up. Okay. I need to look at the. Do you have like the spreadsheet, the schedule on I could look at then?
I do. I can just DM it to you really quick,
Yeah, if you would.
so you just have it. There we go.
Okay, so look at the schedule real quick. We're about halfway through the season. Raccoons, Dongers. The Numbies is in week 7. Okay. Let's see. Chinchillas. Okay. I'm trying to think what I want to do here. Write this down.
I got.
The Chernobyl
got-
Chinchillas will
writing
not
down.
go winless this season.
Okay.
So there will not be a winless team in the league.
I'm writing it down. Okay.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah. Yes. Mhm.
And of course, it only you gotta make sure you say write that down so that we know what we're doing. So.
I,
All right, now
Yeah.
I've given my prediction, my first one. Then we'll do kind of a snake on the way back. So, RiddleDog, your first prediction.
I think we'll make playoffs. Write that down.
The Chinchillas make the
Chernobyl
playoffs.
Chinchillas will make the playoffs,
Holy cow!
even though we're 0-4 right now.
That would basically require you to win out.
I know.
Maybe, or maybe not.
Maybe there are
because-
certain things that could happen, but I mean, like a win out would basically guarantee it. But a few things have to fall the way. But
You'd need to. Yeah, you would need to put up a very good. If you haven't played the Zeniths yet, you'd need to put up a
We don't.
very big performance.
Second last
yeah.
week.
You need to put up a big performance there, but it's possible.
Yep.
War.
All right. Again, I'm gonna give a more personal predictions, and I'm just gonna swing for the fences on this one. This one's dedicated to Jack, by the way. Love you, Jack. But week 8.
Whoa, hold on.
Vancouver
You gotta
Villains.
say the line. Say the line.
All right. Write this down. Write this down. Or write that down, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Week 8, Vancouver Villains are gonna beat the New Zealand Numbies 3-2. Write that down.
Ooh. Okay.
All right. There we go. Wrote it down.
MuffinLumps.
Nothing.
Okay. This is not even gonna happen. This is before end of season.
Well,
The
say the line.
is
Say the
going to-
line.
Write this down. Before end of season, there's going to be a single heart pugs being played. Come on.
A single.
There'll be one
Hawks
pugs. Single
One
Hawks.
pugs. That's all I'm asking.
By the end of the Aurora Overwatch season.
Yeah. We're cooking with gas over here.
All right.
All right, so I think instead of a snake, we'll loop back around. We'll start at the top to get more people thoughts or time to predict. Let me take a look at
I
these.
got my second one if you want me to go.
No, you gotta wait your turn because someone could predict the
Oh,
same
come
thing.
on. No. I don't want anybody to steal my prediction. I got a banger prediction, and I feel like Booney specifically is gonna steal my prediction, and I don't want him to steal my prediction. Okay?
When then you predicted the prediction.
Okay.
You can
I'm
predict
DMing.
that
I'm
Bernie
DMing
has
you my
to leave.
prediction. Okay, Muffin. Just so I have it down.
That could be your prediction. You predict the prediction.
Oh, here we go. Panini
Shit.
Panini has some stuff, by the way, chat.
Okay,
So
okay.
most surprising team, the Chinchillas. Most surprising players, Milo, and then the favorites are Zenith Numbies. Final winners is Zenith, is what Panini thinks.
Okay.
He said in chat. So
that's a different one too. That's interesting. So we got a good spread of predictions.
All right. Feels a little BM, but I gotta swing for the fences here. Write this down. The Imposters only win one game the rest of the season and miss playoffs.
Oh.
imposters win only one more game.
And miss playoffs. Because if you look at it, they face the Numbies. They face the Numbies, the Dongers is the questionable game, and the Turrets in the last week. But with the Zeniths going into next week, and then the Numbies next week, it might be kind of rough. But I had to only win one game for a home run. I think they probably might win 2, but it'll be really close with a couple of those games there. Yeah, write that down.
Written down. Gosh dang it.
Oh. Is it me?
Nope, Riddle. Riddle War, then your last muffin.
I am a goofy.
Yeah, me and Muffin are ready. I just want to say, like, we are on point.
We're doing it. We're doing
Keep
You can
us
it.
just
for
let them
Kiss
do it if they
Panini, for
want.
real.
Yeah, sure,
No,
Riddle. If you don't got
no.
anything right now, we'll go ahead. We'll start with War, so you can get your production out. So Muffin doesn't steal it since you
Yeah.
literally DM'd it to him.
Yeah, that's true. I cannot let my prediction be stolen. I gave New Zealand numbers a bit of slander, so now I gotta give him some love. I got Dyer winning the Rookie of the Year. I'm not sure how unpredictable that one is, or predictable that one is, but I think this man has been playing at an abnormally amazing level. So Rookie of the Year, Dyer. Write that down. Sorry, I didn't say the thing again.
Now that means that Muffin has a chance to steal, since he didn't say right that name.
Okay.
It's like Uno. He
No,
has the
write
chances.
that down. During playoffs, something's gonna happen, and there's just gonna be feedback's gonna explode for like the 15th time. That's my prediction. Feedback's gonna explode.
And
again
specifically during playoffs.
Yeah, during like playoffs, things gonna just like explode. Like 200 messages. You're like, do I want to read this type explosion?
I think we'll kind of quantify it as admins get involved with the feedback.
Yeah.
Like that's a big discussion. It goes over a couple of days. That admins get involved. That's an explosion of feedback. But if it's like if it's like Sidon going in there and like, hey guys, I think Ash should get buffed next patch, and there's a 200 message discussion about that, that's not feedback exploding.
Yeah, it has to be something like controversial or whatever. Ring us again. Yeah.
All right, Riddle, your final.
Muffin's gonna be the one to make it explode.
Yeah, Muffin's gonna specifically look for everything to piss people off. He's gonna have like every single trigger where he's gonna say, "I think ringers suck. I think we should have a no SR cap standard snake draft, and we should what else is controversial? We should have every team make the finals, and it's a round robin tournament."
Also, 13 weeks was too short.
Oh yeah, you gotta bring a
27.
season length. Season length's a big one. That's
yeah. Season length. We're going to do 27 weeks.
52-week season.
Yeah. 52 weeks. Your goal is to play Aurora. We also have 2 games per week. That's gonna be another thing that's gonna happen.
All right,
Riddle.
You ready? Write this down. I think Vin's gonna win MVP this season.
That's a solid take.
I mean, he's just so consistent every single time. He's so popular. He's so funny and just a goofy guy to hang out with that most people like him, really like him as well. So I can see if Kaber nominates him and with what he's able to write up, I know what he wrote up about Fedora all the way back season 5 of Gopherwatch, that Vin should be able to win it.
I would honestly, at this point in the season, that prediction's going to be a sweep if it hits. Because we don't have the nominations yet or anything. So he's predicting both the nomination and a win. I'd say that's a sweep. You can mark that down as a sweep if it hits.
All right, there we go. So, Booney, Chinchillas will not go winless. Imposters win only one more game this season, miss playoffs.
That's a sweep.
I said that
Make sure we mark down our sweeps.
I said that the Chinchillas, we will get into playoffs, and that Vin will win MVP of the season. War says that Week 8 Villains will beat the Numbies 3-2, and Dyer wins Rookie of the Year. And then MuffinLumps, he says that a single Huts Pugs is being played by the end of the season, of this Aurora Overwatch season, and during playoffs something will happen and feedback will explode, which causes admins to get involved.
All right. I think this is a very successful first segment of Write That Down. I thought that was fun.
Yo,
that was really fun,
I had a good time. Yes.
And we'll, of course, keep track of everything throughout the season, and if things come off the board, we'll make sure to mention it. But, yeah, that's going to do it for us here at the Smelly GOON1Es podcast for tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in for a late live stream. Hopefully it was enjoyable. Hopefully we had a good time out here. We thank our special guest, War MuffinLumps, for joining us tonight. We hope to have you guys back on sometime, of course. It was a good time having you all in. You're the inaugural guest of Write That Down, so good times all around. Shout out to Panini for sad not being present, but still giving us his predictions and his thoughts. RiddleDog always keep track of stuff on the notebook. Thank you very much for that. So for everybody here at Smelly GOON1Es, I've been Booney. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay healthy. Have a great rest of the evening, everybody.
Bye.